Yo, what's up with it? It's your boy DG, Soul in the Body. Just want to talk to you a little bit about how animals are souls in our bodies, just like us. And the most important thing, the most righteous thing you can do as a soul in the body is to reconnect yourself with animals, to make sure that you are on the same side as them. Make sure that you become a voice for them. They have a voice, but it doesn't speak the language that humans speak. We have to learn how to become more empath, become more compassionate, learn how to use your intuition, learn how to use your clairvoyance. As a soul in a body, you have a lot of special powers. You're very powerful as a soul in a body, and there's no other being on this planet that has more power than a human. The human has the power to make any animal extinct. No animal can cause extinction of another animal. Only the humans can cause extinction to entire races and to entire animals. So, as a soul in a body, you have a lot of power as a human. There are forces around you that want to take your power away from you, of course. But you have to realize that you are sovereign. You are your own person. Your soul and your body came into this world alone, and you're going to leave this earth alone. And in the meantime, you have to figure out what your purpose is here for. Why did your soul incarnate inside of your body? Why did your soul become born inside of your body? What's the purpose of your soul? To realize that, to come into a realization of why your soul is in your body, is one of the most free feeling things you'll ever experience. It's the most liberating feeling you'll ever have, is realizing why you're here. And realizing your connection, your divine, your innate, your inner connection to everybody and everything. Every animal has a soul. Every animal has flesh. You have flesh. People are made of flesh and blood. Animals are made of flesh and blood. They are literally no different than the people. So to actually eat animals over and over daily is a form of cannibalism. It has to be. If you look at the anatomy of a human, if you look at the inside workings, inner workings, the body parts, the veins, the organs, if you compare the organs and veins and body parts of a human to the body parts of an animal, or any animal that you eat, you can clearly see that we are almost identical. We're basically the exact same thing. The only difference is most animals walk on all fours. They grunt and they quack, and they moo, oink. They make different sounds. That's their way of talking. You have to gain that perception back. That is one of the highest perceptions you can have. To be as smart as you can be, to be smarter than everyone that you ever come in contact with. All you have to do is realize that animals are no different than people. They just don't talk our language. But they're highly intelligent. They have feelings. They hurt. If you stick one with a knife, they're going to scream. They're going to hurt. You stick a person with a knife, they're going to scream. They're going to hurt. They're going to run. We have the exact same emotions and feelings. There's literally no difference between us and them. And the highest civilization that ever existed on this planet came into that realization. This is why they wore heads of falcons or heads of certain animals and had the body of people. It was a metaphor, it was a symbolism to show you that we and animals are one indeed. We are exactly one of them, and there's no difference. So to bring that perception back home inside of your pineal gland and your third eye is one of the most important things you'll ever do. To realize your connection to these beautiful beings, which will also make you more beautiful on the outside and inside once you start vibrating in the right frequency, which is of the universe, which is being in unison with the universe. Una means one, unison means being one with the universe. The universe means, una means one, verse means ballad or dance, so it's one dance. Universe means one dance. This is the one life that you have. That's what universe means. So universe is you. You are the universe. You have one life, one dance with this world, and you have to figure out the right steps. Even if you don't know the right steps of the dance, you just get out there and do it and figure it out. Just don't go out there knocking everything over and becoming a distraction and a racket. Try to be as graceful as possible in your incarnation. So if you want to become your highest self, you want to become greater than you are right now, you want to become greater than your circumstances or greater than any of the lower vibrational beings that are around you, all you have to do is stop doing what low vibrational beings do. And that is stop eating animals, because the lowest level of consciousness, the beings on the lower level of consciousness eat animals raw. They're barbaric. It's like a caveman, basically a hyena or a vulture, somebody who eats a sarcophagus, which is a dead body. When you separate from eating the dead bodies, your stomach becomes free of all that weight, that dead weight that's holding it down. So you become free of that dead weight. And that energy that your stomach takes to break down that dead weight, it takes a lot of energy for your stomach to break down that dead bodies of flesh. And once it is removed from your system, you will have this new experience of energy bursting through you. Sometimes at first it will be a little bit intimidating and a little bit too much, and you might find yourself doing things to lower your vibration because you have so much extra vibration you never felt before. But once you get used to it, you start feeling this new energy every day, you'll get used to it and you'll figure out what to do with it, and then it'll shoot you off in a whole nother direction. Your momentum will just shoot off and it'll become a beautiful thing. But so far we haven't been introduced into a positive light. We haven't been introduced into positive energy. As soon as you came here on this planet, you were basically stuck with needles. You were surrounded by people who didn't know any better. You were born inside of a room, a cold room, most likely in a hospital with concrete walls, things that desensitize you from the very second you get here. So this system is designed to desensitize you and to make sure that you turn a blind eye to anything that is sensitive. They want to make you harden. They want to make you hard as a rock, basically, when it comes to your emotion in those state. So you have to realize that you have to develop your compassion again. You have to develop your empathy, and you have to develop your thirst for knowledge again. Because most people have been taught that ignorance is bliss, and so they think they know everything. And once you think you know something, it's kind of hard to want to learn more. So, and like I said, most people are stuck in the ignorance is bliss state of life, state of mentality, which is a completely fairy tale way of living. Because once you start thinking that ignorance is bliss, that means that you are also accepting that facts need to be ignored. That's the only way you can live in ignorance, is if you ignore the facts. But once you realize the facts, then you have a change of heart. Then you want to do something that can possibly have a positive outcome. You want to do something that can change something. You feel this power within you that allows you to realize that you can make a change. But until then, you'll be on the ignorance is bliss side and just think everything is just the way it is, and you'll just let things happen. So you have to snap out of it. That's another part of the brainwashing. You have to snap out of that ignorance is bliss, snap out of that dead body eating, snap out of that drinking the soda, that sludge. All soda is a sludge. If you boil out the water, it's just a bunch of thick liquid, the thick, gooey, condensed syrup. And the religion. The religion takes you from nature. Religion will take the most beautiful parts of nature and it will cover them up with a new name. So like the sun in the sky, the S-U-N, they cover that up and call it Jesus. When you should be going outside and giving thanks to the sun. You should actually be hugging trees. They took you from nature. They took you from hugging the trees that give you breath. Trees give you breath. They give you oxygen. They are recycling the dirty air on the planet and giving you clean air. These are your life givers, just like the sun, the nature, the water. Everything in nature gives you life. You wouldn't be able to live without nature. But they take that from you and they give it metaphors. They call it Jesus. They call it different things to where you're not able to give thanks or give credit to where credit is due. So your intentions and your knowledge is being misplaced. So you have to learn that you have to put things back in their proper order. Learn that nature is your universe, not some Bible, not some man-made book, because nature was here before a book. There was no books at one point. There was only the laws of nature and the spirit laws, and they are written in the hearts and minds of us. It's not something we have to look outside of ourselves for. You don't need to have a teacher to come and tell you what's right or wrong. Your morality, your morals, your values are already laid inside of you. They're already been placed inside of you. So to ask somebody else what is moral, what is right, what is wrong, that means that you are a broken person. You have a broken mind. And this is where you have to realize is that you have to fix yourself. You have to become whole again, because they've taken you, they ripped you apart, and they sold it back to you in a lie. So be connected to nature. And how? Love animals. And when you love animals, you say you love animals, make sure you do it to where you mean what you say. And you say what you mean. So if you love animals, you stop eating them. You make sure that they aren't being hurt. You make sure that what's happening to them in the slaughterhouses does not happen to you, because that's karma. Whatever happens to the animals in the slaughterhouses, you're going to end up feeling that one day. If you keep eating animals and keep going against the nature, going against the universe, going against the laws of nature and the spirit laws, you will be next on the slaughter machine, getting ready to be punched and kicked and shocked and tased and your throat slit. And that's just karma, because we allowed it to happen. And that's why they say ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is bliss is a joke. It's a tactic. It's a spiritual tactic to get you to go along with what this soul-sucking government does. They want to take your soul, and they want to control your experience that you have with your soul. So you have to take your soul back. Take your power back. That is your power. Your soul is your main energy source. And someone tries to harvest it. They try to control where your energy goes. But you can be aware of that. And you can starve your distractions, and you can feed your focus. So, the biggest thing as a soul and a body you're going to have to do is to break out of the mode. Break out of what everyone else is doing. Because even though they look like they're all doing it, they look like it might be right because everyone's doing it, it's still wrong. If you do it by yourself and everyone else doing it, it's still right, even if you're by yourself. And that's where you have to get to the point where you're able to realize that everyone is being wrong right now. Everyone is wrong, and they know not what they do. So they're essentially brainwashed. And when you come to that conclusion, it's really easy to separate the elevate from there, because you don't want to be part of the sheep. And you can see where that's headed. It's very clear. So each one teach one. Separate the elevate from the dead bodies. And go vegan and learn to love animals and nature and the universe once again.